Welcome to the Let's Play Timberborn series. This is episode 1. We're going to be starting a new game. I have done the tutorial, so we're going to kind of have an idea of what we're doing. But I'm starting from scratch. I have not played this game other than probably 30 minutes through the entire tutorial of the game. I have watched a little bit of gameplay, so I know I want to pick folk tales just to make things a little bit more simple for myself. I started on lakes, so I think it's going to be easier for me to play through on lakes. And I do want to go on normal. I want to name this something about beavers, maybe Chomp Pines. Chomping Pines. Chomp Grove? Chomp Grove. Let's start there. Alright. So, I'm assuming anybody else playing this has probably got a little bit more experience than myself. Let's give us an angle like that. We start out with a family of beavers. And this is our district currently, and we extend the district by building paths. I am going to disable the tutorial, because I think I know what to do from here. We know that we need to go up there, so we're going to build an easy path just to start. And I want to utilize as much of this area as possible. Probably using some of the space that isn't getting irrigated by this land. Utilize that for more of our lodging. And the first thing that we need to do is start cutting down some trees. So we need resources to build the things we want. So same idea up here. Let's try to utilize as much of the area as possible. As much as the irrigated area as possible. Alright, wood, lumberjack, flag. And then I want to cover as many of the trees with a single lumberjack flag as possible. Maybe we'll put it on this side. Something like that will work. Just to start. Okay, so if I've done this right, they should start to build. I think we... what does this cost? I guess it doesn't cost any resources, it's just a flag. So the cost is just them putting it up. Alright. Lumberjack flag is up. Then we give them orders to cut down trees. And I want to give them this whole area, cut all those trees, and they will also cut these. Later we'll be planting or creating a forester that'll tell them where to put those. Okay, we have a resource here, we have some berries. Let's go ahead and I want to build a path that goes across here. Because it's the shortest distance across. Same thing, I think we're going to put all of our crops and things over here, and then probably our pumps on this side, and I want to use a dam. And we can go ahead and build that now, I think. Or at least have them start building that. Because that's how we're going to access the other side. Okay, next, let's get a water pump going. So that we can get some resources to our team here. I think, yes, going on this side is going to be okay. We're just going to put one for now. It took me a second to realize how to get rid of some of these bushes, but you have to go into demolish buildings here and mark resources for destruction. But we're not going to do that just yet. I'm trying to figure out how do we get to gather flag, because we need them to gather the berries for us. Actually, that's pretty wide. There. And once that's built, storage. Small tank. Rotate. Just a couple there for now. Okay, we have this gathering blueberries, and then we're gonna have to build a farmhouse. Once we build across, we can use the whole other side. We will need to build a dam here to make sure that all of this area stays irrigated. Wait a sec. Plant crops. There we go. Carrot. And I guess we'll just start with carrots because they take the least amount of days. And let's just start with something like that for now. I think that'll give plenty of food for what we have so far. Okay, let's think about lodging a little bit so we can start to grow our population. I know that I want to have it go up a second level. And then I think I'm going to put stairs between. And then I think stairs will go up a floor. Be here, and then up another floor. And I think that will... yeah, that'll allow us to get up 3 levels. Let's see what else. Science. Inventor. Let's get that going. Let's put that there, and then add a path. Everyone's thirsty. We're waiting for materials. I think we need to get another flag going. Let's put one right here, so it's as close to the other area as possible. They should automatically... let's extend the working hours a little bit. We're going to make them work for 19 hours a day, and that way they only get 5 hours of sleep. We don't want them to sleep. Okay, we do have water now. Very good. Let's make sure that this is holding water. Let's create a large pile. And this large pile is going to be kind of centralized in our town. Let's go ahead and put it right next to it because it fits there. Let's get another lumberjack flag temporarily. Right. Let's keep them close to it. Right here, and then let's go ahead and assign cutting down trees in this area as well. Let's get a campfire as well. And we're going to put that sort of deprioritize the construction of the campfire. It's not a necessity here. Alright, it is day 5. I think we're going to be going into day 6 of our first cycle. Everybody's taking a nice nap for another day of hard work. These dams, they don't dam up the water completely. They do have a spillway, some to pass through a spillway at the top. And so I think it's about 70% of the water it'll hold back. And so you don't risk flooding any of the... I don't really know if you can flood it. But what I've seen before is using a levee, not a levee, a floodgate, and they use a floodgate across the entire thing. What I'm going to do is just have a levee or a dam, and then have a floodgate shortly after that. Okay. I think the first drought comes around 10 days. So we're going to get that warning here very soon, I think. Our science center is up. So we're getting 1 science per hour, and we'll use this to unlock other buildings, structures, and everything is very expensive. I know something that we're going to need pretty early on is stairs, so we can access some other high points. looks like we were able to finish our dam here. Don't forget to put paths over it so they can walk over it. It's too far from a district. That is a little far. I'm just thinking, since we have wood over here, it would make most sense to have it at least... Well, I guess maybe if they're bringing it to large piles there. But this is where we're going to have most of our wood production. Here. Okay, we have our first lodge. People already live in there. So our population will start to increase. We start off with 12. Everybody currently has jobs. Everyone's a little hungry. And you know what? We don't have a storage for our food. So I don't think we've gotten to the point where we can harvest the crops, but we'll definitely need a place for them to put them. Most of our food is going to be carrots. But same thing, let's get them... Let's have them store the food away from the water. Still have a lot of other stuff that needs to be built. Okay, your beavers are happier than ever. You have reached a new well-being high score of 4. I think 6 is pretty good early on. Shelter, so once everybody has shelter, that'll give us a +1 as well. Nutrition. I guess as we start to add the foods that we're collecting, we'll be able to reach a score out of here. You get a +1 for each time you max it out, I think. I think this helps them... So their well-being, yes. So Trezan has a well-being of 1, and their working speed and movement speed is at 0%, and so the higher their well-being, the higher their working speed, movement speed, and life expectancy. But okay, we are now collecting carrots and adding them to our medium warehouse, which is not too far away either, so that's good. We are collecting water in small bins, but we are... I think we are using more than we're able to store at the moment. So maybe it's time to add another water pump here. Let's get back to our demolition. So there was a single demolition tool for everything. It's a good thing the path doesn't cost anything. So I guess that matches our block there. Kind of works out. Prime city planning here. But we will need a lumber mill, so let's go ahead and make sure that that's built into the plan here. We do have wood over here as well, so we could increase our... So we are very quickly... This needs to collect logs, if we have them. Let's build a path. Let's just have it go straight towards. I think that'll be okay. Alright. Need a lumberjack flag. Rotate. And let's make sure that they're all cutting these trees down. There are 3 workers at the farmhouse. I think that's quite a bit. We don't need all 3 of them there. Let's add somebody to come grab these berries over here. Food. Gather. Maybe you can grab a little bit of both. There we go. Can we prioritize this? I need to move. Thank you. Slow it down a little bit. And we will need to add another water pump. Very soon, I would very much like to start adding other ways for us to block off this water source, and we'll have this whole lake as a reservoir, and then we can slowly let the water come down into this area for water pumping. Okay, so I guess it is on day 16 that you get your first drought. We know that we're going to lose a little bit of this crop because we're not going to have enough time to add another dam on this side. Maybe we'll do that the next cycle. We do want to add this water pump because I think we are outrunning our... Maybe we can add some more storage. In the meantime, we are creating planks now as well. And I don't think we need to be creating any planks just yet, so we're gonna pause it so that our logs aren't consistently going over there. We want them to store a little bit of our logs. So our fireplace is created. I have not used a fireplace before. Popular at night. Sometimes fire and wood are a good match. Place for them to socialize and relax in the evening. Okay, let's see how that affects. So campfire is giving us a plus 0.4 bonus. Maybe that's because only 5 people can take advantage of it at a time. To unlock Forester. So we're going to do so, and I know that we're going to put it right here. Create a path. Right, once that's created, I know that we are going to plant birch trees. Let's plant birch trees all throughout this side. Let's plant oak trees there and leave some room to add a couple buildings if we need to, in case we get desperate on those water sources. Let's add some pines. Let's get those filled in back here for now. And then we have our maple right there for now. So we have a great variety of trees going down. The first thing that's going to get planted up will be our birch, and then followed by that will be pine, I think, and the chestnut, maple, then the oak finally. Very local to our lumber mill there, turning everything into planks, a little bit of distance from our large pile, but everything is pretty localized. I think we are set up really well for our first drought. We've got plenty of food. Water is actually a little bit scarce, but we will have a bit of a reservoir right here. Turned off. The drought has started. So we'll have a bit of a reservoir here, but you'll see from here will be the first water to go. It'll disappear. Eventually. Yep, and there it goes. Bad water, there's quite a bit of it, so it's going to linger there for a minute, but eventually it will all come down. There it goes. And there's our drought. Okay, so, like we said, we were going to lose a little bit of our crops, but we were able to keep quite a few. Let's go ahead and prioritize harvesting those, so they can get all these crops out of here, just in case we lose some water. We're still pumping, so as long as we're still pumping the water, it's going to be taking water out of this reservoir that's being used for our crops currently. So maybe we'll go ahead and pause this until we get more of those crops out of there. We're doing okay. We have plenty of berries, plenty of food. Water, I would say, 3 full tanks is not too bad, but we want to be a little careful there. Since we have a good storage of logs, let's go ahead and unlock the wooden stairs. And now I have found a purpose for it. Can't unlock the platform yet. Okay. But I know what I want to do. Okay, the water is back. Cycle 2 has begins. Cycle 1 has ended. And we were actually able to keep our reservoir here the entire time. We weren't pumping any water, but we didn't have to because that lasted. There was a 3-day drought. Vacancy. Why do we only have 10 workers? Did somebody die? I see. Azajot died of old age. So we've only had 1 child since, and 2 people have died. So we are outrunning, our death rate is faster than our birth rate. So let's try to get some more lodging built very soon. Housing. Lodge. Okay, let's think about this for a moment. There's going to be a staircase there. What if we just have the staircase go... Get some more beavers. Triple launch. Unconnected building. Can't get all the materials. Planks. What's wrong with the planks? Building needs power. Are we getting a low water flow? I was able to create planks before. It was a bad place to put it. This would have been a much better spot. Power. Water wheel. I think we could actually put it there. Let's try again with the lumber mill. And then I think we're going to build a bit of a bridge here. Okay, they are planting the birch. I'm really curious to see. Okay. Just proved right there that as he's building the birch there, it's getting rid of the stumps. So I didn't have to do all this over here. You were probably screaming at the screen. But don't worry, we figured it out. So we want maple. That way we have some room to get across a dam that we build over here. We do have... Oh no! And Bleeze died of old age as well. Yeah, we need to get these lodges up pretty quick. They are dying faster than we can save them. Okay, we just got another... Okay, so we're back up to 12. We just gotta wait for them to age up. We got 2 born there. That's good. We're moving up. Oh, a teeth grindstone. We will need this. Let's go ahead and put it down right next to our fireplace. One of our child beavers grew up, and we just got another one. Okay, so now our birth rate is going faster than our death rate, which is good. I guess we're going to be doubling our birth rate since we're doubling our lodging. That would be logical. let's add a small plank storage, small pile, and then this will be... Can I do planks? And then we'll put some... Things are good. I think we've completed now with the completion of the lodge. Everything is good. We're still harvesting plenty of carrots, getting plenty of blueberries coming in, so food, water have all been plentiful. We've actually been slowing our crops down a little bit. Actually, can we not reach this? It's too far from a district and cannot be reached by builders. But what we can do, finish this off with stairs. Let's put it there. And we'll have them get rid of these bushes. And we'll build a path. Beavers can swim, so I've been told. So they should be able to access there now. It's too far from our district, it cannot be there it goes. Okay, so that'll be built very soon. As we go into our 12th day in our second cycle, we'll be approaching our second drought here very soon. But things are steady. We've established plenty of food, plenty of water, a couple pumps. We have a dam to keep some water during the second drought. We've moved our sawmill down here so that we can get a better water flow. That's probably been the biggest lesson that we've learned from episode 1. We've got also plenty of trees planting up, and life is good here in Chomp Grove. Thanks for coming to watch. We'll see you in episode 2. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and thanks for watching.